Good morning, everyone. This is a meeting of the Concord Middle School Building Committee. Today is Thursday, August 24th, 2023, and I'm going to call roll. So, Alexa Anderson.
I don't know if Alexa's going to make it. She's
Okay.
not feeling great this week.
Oh, bummer. Okay, Court Booth. No Court either. Heather Bout.
I'm here. You got a success.
Frank Cannon. I saw Frank.
Frank is here. I see him.
Okay, Justin Cameron. We were just talking.
He waved. He's here.
Thanks, Justin. Bob Conry.
Bob's on, but not his microphone.
Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, good morning, Bob. Megan Zamudo. Is Megan with us? Deputy Town Manager?
Megan is not.
No? Thanks, Gail. Peter Fishelis. Are we going to have a quorum? We don't have that many people. Don Goriello, I'm here. Russ Hughes.
John, you might have to count up the actual committee members.
Yeah, the voting. Okay, so let's see.
Voting members.
We had Heather, so I'm going to highlight her. Bear with me. I'm going to have to do this on the fly. Let me keep going and then we'll backtrack and see who's here.
I see 5 of us. No, 6. Well, Laura, you still get 6.
I count.
6 of us.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We need 7 for a quorum. Lori Hunter?
I see 8 of us, 9 of us.
Oh, good for you.
Oh.
Okay. So Lori,
Yep, I'm here.
good morning. Mark Powell.
I'm here, thanks.
Good morning, Mark. Carrie LaFleur.
Carrie's not going to be able to make it today.
Okay, thank you. Pat Nelson.
I'm here.
Hey, Pat. Chris Popoff.
Here.
Good morning. Charlie Parker. No Charlie? Okay. Matt Root.
I'm here.
Hey, Matt. Eric Sims. No Eric. Sustainability. No. Steve Stashevsky. I saw Steve earlier. You here, Steve?
Yes, hi.
Good morning.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's right. So we have, let's see, we have Heather 1, Frank 2.
Right, we have 9.
We have 9. Okay, awesome. We're good.
We got
All right. Good morning, everyone. First order of business, approval of the meeting minutes, July 20th, 2023. I trust everyone got those. Any comments, any questions? And Mark, I see that I'm going to reach out to you after. I know you're having issues getting the emails, and we had a similar problem previously with Matt. So
Yeah, I just have a simple request into Ian to just start sending it directly to me. Thanks.
yeah, I think it's actually on the back end, the town website. Or the town email.
I don't really want to fool around with what's going on with the MSBC website, distribution list.
Yeah, the issue is that other people send to that, so you'll miss those emails as well.
Yeah.
Mark. It's not just the
I'd love to see
packet.
that fixed, but it's more important to get the packages.
Okay. Well, if Ian doesn't mind adding you, for
yeah,
now, we still
that's not a
keep it
problem.
here.
I'll add you outside of the CMSB email too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but Mark, to that point, like people are sending public emails to that email address that you might be missing. So I want you to have all the information. So it is helpful.
Whoever set that up can go ahead and get it fixed.
Well, that's the school side, and we've double checked it here. We know Matt Johnson had a really hard time with his Concord town email receiving it. So
Yeah.
maybe Peter and Jason need to connect.
Yeah, and
I
my
can ask
understanding
them.
was that they went ahead and tried to add my personal email to that, and that hasn't come through either. So there's still a problem.
We'll double check it here.
Okay. So anyway, back to, sorry about that, Mark. We'll still work on that. Back to the meeting minutes, July 20th. Does anyone have any-
Dawn, I just joined.
Oh, hey. Hey, Charlie. How are you? Good morning.
Morning.
We were just getting down to business with meeting minutes from July 20th, 2023. So I was asking if anyone had any edits, comments, motions to approve, if nothing. No one?
I move to approve the minutes from July 20th.
2023?
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Matt. Matt Root, do we have any seconds?
Second,
Very good. Thank you, Heather. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'm going to, Alexa's not here, Court's not here. Heather, how do you vote?
aye.
Frank Cannon? Can someone let me know if you get
Frank?
the thumbs up?
Frank, thumbs up or that? He's nodding yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Frank. Peter Fashalis, was Peter here? Okay. No.
He wasn't yet.
Don Goriello, I'm a yes. Lori Hunter,
Yes.
Mark Howell,
I'll abstain.
okay. Pat Nelson,
I don't think I was at that meeting. I'm abstaining.
all right, very good. Chris Popoff,
Yes.
thank you. Charlie Parker,
Yes.
Matt Root,
Yes.
Steve Stashewski.
Yes.
All right, very good. Motion
Dawn,
passes.
this is Court. I'll
Hi, Court.
abstain. I missed most of that meeting. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Good morning. Happy to have you.
Good morning.
All right, correspondence, communication updates, our next order of business. Do we have anything, Heather? I know Alexa's not
Yeah, we
here.
just had 2 emails come in since our last meeting. One was asking about when the foundations are going to be starting to be poured, and the other was asking about whether we're going to be looking at electromagnetic interference in the solar project design. So those were the only 2. Quick communications update is I'm just doing some information gathering, and we'll be setting a communications subcommittee meeting soon to go over kind of a draft of a revised communications plan for going forward. So see that soon.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Sure.
Just as a point on one of those communications, I hope that we forward that letter on interference over to the light plant. They may be the ones that should be responding to this question.
I thought the same, Charlie. We can forward it along.
Good.
Okay.
I noted that the letter actually said that they've already communicated that exact email to the light board. So
It did.
I don't know if our team does have any kind of position on it. I don't have any experience with solar interference myself, but if the team has any experience or expertise, we might be, it might help answer their questions.
If you look at the web and you look at try to research it, the answer is that there's actually 0 evidence of interference causing these kinds of problems, but I just don't know how we have competence in that area. But anyway, that's fine. If somebody wants to respond to it, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I agree, Charlie. Okay, so if no one, yeah, I just thought if someone did have an opinion, that would be great to hear, but light board looks like hopefully they'll answer.
Okay. Thank you all, and thank you, Heather, for the update. OPM update. Hill, what do we have today?
All right, we've got financial update, and then we'll get into the construction side as well. So I will share my screen and we'll start with the cash flow. Yeah, can you guys see the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. So this is the typical cash flow through August 2023. So let's see, we are up to actual expenditures this month is 1.2 million. So that brings us up to 9.6 million in total expenditures. In relation to the projected, it's 13.3. So some things that are going on with that is this column here is contingencies. So we have to project this out to some degree. So we just distributed that over time. So you're not necessarily, we're not spending those yet, but we're trying to account for it in the total cost. So that's some of the difference there. And the other is just the payments to CTA. We are on the July requisition approval for this afternoon. So this is just showing the June requisition. So that gets a little closer to the projection of 13.6. So here's the graph over time. So you start to see things pick up as they put more work in place, especially this fall with steel and other trades coming on site.
Thank you, Ian. Does anyone have
Yep.
any questions, comments, anything that they want to add to this? Okay, feel free to keep going then. Yeah.
Will do. So this is the budget doc. Hopefully we're getting familiar with this, but these are the approved budget is in this column. We've got committed costs here, uncommitted costs, forecasted changes. This bucket here is for anything that is on our radar for potential changes from CTA, total project costs, expenditures to date, and then the balance. So looking at the bottom line here, we've got 98 of the 111 committed. We've got 13 million in uncommitted costs for various buckets here, including contingencies. We've got 9.6 expenditures to date, which matches the cash flow, and then a balance of 101.8 million.
Okay, any questions? I guess keep going.
All right. So this is our TRC approval update. So again, we've been meeting weekly. The technical review committee has been reviewing mostly invoices from SMA, Hill, and CTA, but also amendments. So one thing that is changed since the last meeting is we've had a commitment for Verizon. So we need to engage Verizon for their engineering service for some basically phone lines to the building. So we want to get them started on that process. There was a $2,000 engineering fee that we needed to commit and pay to them to get them started with that those engineering services. So that's what that is on the commitment side. These are just budget adjustments left over from the last month. And then these are the invoices here at the bottom that we've paid. So this is the SMMA invoice, progress payment, the Hill progress payment, CTA's invoice number 2, which is the July requisition, and then
that's the June requisition.
Yeah, sorry, June. That's right. Thank you, John.
Any questions on this? Are you done going through it, Ian? I'm sorry. I didn't
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Sounds like no. Keep rolling.
Gonna be a short meeting.
It's the end of summer. No one will be sad about that.
Dawn, I do have a question. This is Court.
Sure. Go ahead, Court.
In the absence of Gail Dowd, how has the town team reassembled in regard to our financial oversight?
Sorry, we should have probably shared that Gail is actually still involved at the capacity. Maybe Gail, you can speak to it, but focus just on this project, if I'm not mistaken, Gail. Do you want to?
That is correct, Don. Thank you. So Court, I am staying on to assist in the middle school project. So I'm attending all of the meetings and still doing all of the financial oversight.
And we are
Excellent.
thrilled to have her in that capacity. So sorry, that was, I thought everyone knew that, and I apologize for not sharing that. So thank you for asking, Court.
Great. Thank you
Gail's-
very much.
Yeah, very much still involved.
Can I ask how long that will
Yeah.
be for?
I don't know if I know the answer. Do you, Gail?
It is intended to be the duration of the project.
That's great.
It's
Ian,
awesome.
sorry.
Yeah.
Ian,
I
just
was-
a quick point. Isn't this the old picture of kind of the area view of the middle school?
It is.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think the design of the bus loop has changed a little, and then
Yeah, the buses are parallel parked in the
and
final.
the solar panels aren't here as well.
Yeah.
We do have a newer rendering that you and Cole did, so I can send that to you, Ian, so we can swap
Okay.
this one. Yeah.
Thank you. We will switch it out.
I had a question, but just as a transitionary, sorry, Ian. And the Verizon, it just made me think of cellular service, and maybe it's a question to Mark. Could the select board consider the middle school as a site for a potential cell tower? I know that's a rhetorical question, you don't have to answer it, but I thought it would be worth mentioning.
Steve, we're in a pretty significant conversation about the high school
Yeah,
taking on a
right.
tower.
Yeah.
So happy to fill you in on where those discussions are at. Some of the town leaders, Megan and the IT director, Jason, were at the school committee meeting on Tuesday. So it's a complex question you just
Yeah,
asked.
I know, yeah, no answer required, but it just came to mind, I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ann, go ahead.
No worries. So I'll get into the construction update here. Working our way from the far side of the project site on the other side of the school, there is a temp parking area that's being established for the faculty, and so they started the subgrade prep in early August. The asphalt went down this week, and then they're working to button up that area before school starts. So they're doing the parking lot striping. They're establishing the playground this week, basically reinstalling the existing playground features, and then they'll do hydro seed. They want to get this area complete so that it's usable in the near future. So other activities that are going on site, the loam screening is still in process. There's a huge stockpile of loam out there, so they're still sifting through it. So that's ongoing. The work that's been completed to date, kind of segmenting here, is the foundations for building C. So I know there was a question about concrete foundations. There are concrete foundations on site. And just to reorient everybody, building C is the classroom wing, and then you kind of step up to building B and then building A, going up the hill for the auditorium and gym. So they started at the lowest elevations in building C, which is what you're looking at here, and they're kind of working their way up the hill towards building B and A. So building B formwork is ongoing. Building A foundation excavation is ongoing. They also have some under slab plumbing that they've started up. Electrical and drainage trenches and conduit are getting started as well. Some things to be aware of that have happened on the job site. There have been some significant rain events in the past month. We had three big events. This site has a lot of sand. Mostly looks like a big sandbox out there. So every time that there's a rain, We have had some washout, some pretty significant washout, like up and over the foundations and in some of the areas where they've already excavated and prepared for footings and that sort of thing. So there has been some rework that had to be done in order to kind of re-prep those areas. We're working through some of that now from the last rainstorm. So just some of the things that we're trying to combat out there. There's a meeting on site, or I don't know if it happened yesterday or I can't remember, about basically stormwater management and how we can prevent these things from happening and kind of make sure that work is being protected in place so that they're not having to do any rework in the future with these types of events. So we're actively working through that as a team and trying to come up with better solutions. So
what's the threshold for that sort of event becoming something that is a cost to us as the owner versus something that's expected within the construction contract?
That's a tough question because there's a lot of factors involved in that. You know, we really want the contractor to take responsibility for protecting their work in place. You know, so there's a certain level of provisions that they need to provide, and if they're not doing that, then they're not kind of doing their part in protecting their work. And so those types of breaches would be on them. If there are things that we really feel are above and beyond normal, and it's, you know, we're kind of using our judgment here on what that is for events, then, you know, we would start to consider compensation for rework at that point. So Jen, I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts on that from a design team standpoint, but
No, I think I agree with what you said, but you know, I think it is important the contractor, you know, they protecting their work, and we're working with them. Niche Engineering is actually out there this morning with Delia from the Conservation Commission as well. So we're trying to work together as a team to see how we can improve or add some additional erosion control measures so that we're not having these breaches every rainstorm.
Yeah,
And
so
Mitch is the civil engineer, just for clarity.
Yep. Sorry.
So, I mean, the force majeure clause might kick in with like something like a named storm or whatever, but you know, what we consider to be these weekly 3-inch rainstorms that we're getting, I would think that we're not in that territory. Is that?
I would agree.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that force majeure is for considerable events. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah, but this, just jumping ahead, this is some of the washout that we're seeing, you know. It just has been cutting in these rivers of runoff throughout the site. So certainly it's not an easy thing to manage, especially when they're trying to move equipment around the site and create access in different places and that sort of thing. But again, they still do have to protect their work in place. So. The only other thing to report is just on the baseline schedule. That's something that's ongoing. We did receive a draft baseline schedule from CTA towards the end of July. And we've provided a series of responses to that baseline schedule. We met with CTA this past week. We're still working towards acceptance of that schedule. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. You know, essentially, you know, we're all in alignment on the move-in date of the school and maintaining that, and being able to move in on February 25th as planned. The thing that we're trying to sort out is CTA's contractual completion date. That's December 19th of 2025. So they they feel that they could use more time, and we're kind of working through that. So
Did you mean 24?
24, yes, you're right.
Okay, I got nervous there because the
December
move-in's in
2024,
25,
yeah.
but December
So-
would be 24. Got it.
So on it, and that's for phase one only. Phase two, we're all set there, maintaining those contractual completion dates. No concern there from CTA, but there is some concern on the phase one contractual completion date, not the move-in date. So.
Great. Any questions on construction updates, anyone? No? Okay.
Good. Otherwise, I got a few more photos here.
Oh, good. I thought you had gone down and then back. I lost track of what you were sharing. Yep,
So
go ahead and show.
This is more building C that you're looking at here, with the foundations that have been completed. And then you've got building B with the foundation excavations and some of the footing prep. You can see follow the stone areas. So basically they excavate down to the bottom of footing, compact it, prepare it, put in stone, run compaction tests, make sure that it's a stable surface to build on, and then they start putting in formwork and rebar on top of that so that they can prepare for concrete foundations. So, and then I already showed you guys the last one here with the rain impact.
For SFMA, is there any unexpected circumstances with the soils and the actual soils that are being encountered on the site?
No, I mean, it is pretty much what we expected. There was a small area of unsuitable soils that was uncovered and removed. So, but other than that, it's been what we expected,
Okay.
which is good. I mean, it's a very sandy site. It's a beach out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for Hill or SMMA as far as construction update, comments, questions? Okay, let's move on to, there's a CPC funding update, but I don't see Peter, and I don't know if anyone has anything to say on that.
I can talk to that.
You can, Lori,
Don.
thank you.
Yeah, we've taken point. I met with Carrie a few weeks ago, and we just followed up on the conversations this group has had. So the school team is working on an application to CPC that we're going to bring to all of you. Timing is the trick. You might end up getting it by email. It's due September 9th. So we're aiming for $250,000 ask to subsidize the money that's already been allocated at town meeting. So it would be but you'd borrow less over time. So we'll notify you when that's finished and ready to go. I think it's pretty straightforward because there's so much already outlined for the project, and we're focused on the fields. So we'll be submitting that before the deadline.
Thank you for your team for putting that together, offering to put that together. So
yeah. And
thank you.
Just point of clarity, Carrie's the one who actually signs it since it's a town project. We're just trying to all work together to get stuff done.
Right. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions on that? Okay, we're just moving right along this morning. All right, we don't have a new business in here. I'm gonna call for new business and then public comment. I think there was one thing Lori wanted to let the group know about, so I'll let you start, Lori, and then I'll ask if anyone else has any.
Yeah, and certainly some of the professionals can chime in since it's been a team effort on this too. A week ago, the Sanborn custodial staff discovered cracks in the locker rooms at Sanborn, in the ceramic tile in the walls. So there are about 3 of them, pretty significant in one of the locker rooms versus the other. So we all quickly, gathered round. We grabbed Vin Miller and CTA, who are on site obviously all the time, got them inside, worked with SMMA, and within 48 hours had a structural engineer in Sanborn. So that was a great response. Obviously, the question was it structurally a problem or not? Short answer is that there were some fissures there already. The vibrations from all the construction loosened those, and ceramic blocks started to move. So no structural concerns, which is fantastic. In limbo was the use of the gymnasium, so we're certainly able to continue to use that. Good news is Justin doesn't use the locker rooms, so we're just closing those off. They've certainly secured the walls, so they're not crumbling around if somebody were to go in, but we are just going to close those 2 locker rooms up and not have children in there. So good outcome. Building inspector was involved, fire department, everybody who needed to be there gave us clearance to bring kids in and use the gym. And we definitely have, I think, asked the custodial staff at Sanborn just to have high alert and do some really regular walkthroughs. And I can't say enough, Hill, CTA, SMMA, everybody just jumped in. It's not their school they're actually fixing, right? It's the one we're trying to not demolish before we are ready to. So just really grateful for the support, especially given the timing so close to the start of school.
Yeah, thank you for everyone who jumped in to help on that. That's great that you had a structural engineer out there in a timely manner, and the clearance to get kids in there, and also validation that we need a new school.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be
but
up for debate.
yeah, I think we already all knew that we needed a new school, but this sort of validates that it really is at end of life. So thank you for that update, Lori. Anyone else have any new business, anything that they need to bring to the committee's attention? Okay, if not, I will move on to public comment. Do we have any public comment today? Hi, Christine Reynolds. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Dawn. Chris Reynolds, 15 Captain Miles Lane, a member of FinCom. My question is to Dr. Hunter. We have a FinCom meeting tonight, Lori. So on the application to CPC, it seems like it's gone back and forth, but based on what you just said, it's going to be not an additional amount essentially to the budget, but something that offsets it. So that's
correct.
Some good news, but I have that correct.
Yeah, so we're not asking for anything additional. It would just reduce the borrowing amount if the application were granted.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Any other public comment? Looks like no. All right. Next steps, next meeting. What are we looking at, Ian? I haven't looked forward in my calendar. Can you tell us when we're meeting again? Sounds like we may see something on the CPC prior, only because of timing, according to Dr. Hunter. But then I think we're scheduled to meet. I think school will be well underway by then. Let me check my calendar.
I think it's the 21st.
21st of September. Okay.
Yep, that's
Oh, good. It'll miss that. I'll cut back to school night. All right.
Yeah, we'll start sending out all the meeting invitations for the fall just to get it on everyone's calendar.
Yeah, that's helpful. Fall does get crazy, and I'm only speaking as a parent, not as a educator or leader in the school. So yeah, that would be helpful. Okay. Anything else before we adjourn? All right, well, nice quick one today. I guess that's good news. So thank you, everyone. I don't even think we need a motion to adjourn, right? We just lose quorum, I'm pretty sure is how it works. So thank you. We'll see you on the 21st of September, 7:30 a.m. And
see you then.
that's it for today.
See you then.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
Dawn.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dawn.
guys.
See ya.